An interesting question is, did humans create God or did gods create humans? And when we think about this, it can be interchangeable. Some people, that study certain religions believe, God created all things. And other people will say, well, the concept of God was created by humans. What I see is that God is all. God is the all things. And this is where the English language either has to be redefined. I feel like that's the only way we can really do that, is redefine English language, because that's what we're like. If we decide to create a new language, the way that we would create it is to describe it with the English language. We'll say this word babu means this in English, or this word babu means, we have to describe it with English language because this is what we have been taught. So, even if you have multiple languages, if you wanted to create a new language, you'll say, well, this means this, in order to translate it. So, when we think about God and God being what some would say the creator of all things or all things, or the universe, I would say God is the universe. And then when it comes to human construct, look at this bird. See, I'm thinking, like, what is God to a bird? What is God to a tree? You know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about human construct and our socialization, that's when you could say, oh, well, God is this. That's when people started coming out saying, well, God is this statue, or, God is the woman, God is the man, and God is your mother, God is your father, and God is this thing, and you can only get to God through Jesus and through the Bible and through this religion is the only way you'll be able to know what God is. These are all human constructs through socialization. Before socialization, and this is where I have to do some more meditation, but before socialization, when you're a fetus in the womb, or even a cell, like. And this is why I've been going deep. Like, what do you guys think when it comes to what is God to a cell? What is God to a fetus? Like, when you have senses and when you don't have senses. Like, let's say you don't have senses, but you're still intelligence. You're still you're still expression of the mind of the God of the all of the universe. So but when you come into your senses, when you come into this form, this physical form, or this body, then what sustains you becomes God. First of all, it would be your mother. That connection inside your mother. But also the mind is always God. We come from God is the mind. The way we construct God as a human, or through our senses, through the form, is we're going into what people call the illusion of separation, where we start to separate things and we start to say, you know what, God is the all, but God comes in the form. Form is separate, okay? It's separate because it expresses itself. It expresses God in different ways. I express God differently than a tree expresses God, right? So everything is God broken up into different pieces. And we express it in different ways. But socially, and as a child, before we're taught religion and what God is through religion, we would deem our mother to be God, especially while you're in the womb. But would they know separation? Or do they know separation once they come out of the womb? And they get detached from the mother. Then they start to feel, oh shoot, I'm something different. Like I'm separated. They may not be able to consciously understand it, but it's a subconscious thing. And then they're like, I want to be back in that. I want to be back to the womb. I want to be touching the mother, like, and the mother is God. But as you grow, you maybe you don't have the milk. Maybe you don't get the milk. Maybe you wing off the milk. Now what is God to you? What is that supreme thing that sustains you? Will be your food. Will be nature, the air, the earth, the sun. This is what's, and people are like, oh, well, some people was away from the sun. You can't get away from the sun. Your food is grown by the sun. So even if you're in a dark space, the sun is growing things. The sun makes the earth move. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be attached to the elements of nature, period. So eating an orange, you're getting sun. So this will be a social construct of what God is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But also just remember, we are all a reflection of the all. So honoring your mother or honoring what the things that sustain you is okay. Honoring religion, because that's what helps you to have the closest connection that you feel to God. You know what I'm saying? So I'm literally just thinking out loud right now. So I'm just thinking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, only reason we would think or give reference to a God outside of the mind or a higher self, that intelligence, that energy, that mitochondria, that energy, that forces, that's in the force of everything that we can sense, is because of a social construct. Okay? We're social beings, we're socializing, so what's the construct of our socialization, which helps with many different things on earth. But at what point do we differentiate oneness and go into separation? What point in a human life does that? What point in any life does that? When we're in the womb, are we separate from the womb? We're in the womb. Are we separate? Are we connected? We're one. We're connected with the umbilical cord, right? As we come out, we get separated. So, yeah, this is just, I'm thinking out loud. I hope y'all like these thoughts out loud. I'm not, even though anyways, I hope y'all like the thoughts out loud. Hopefully it can get you thinking. I may come to my conclusion at some point, but, yeah, somebody just called me and made me think, like, they're like, oh, the woman is, why the fuck did I feel like I seen something? The woman is God, and I definitely see that. But you know what I'm saying? Because I like to have balance. I like to have balance, and I like to, like, when I think about God, I'm thinking about the all, the universe. When we say the woman is God, this is a social way of thinking of things, but it's the closest thing to that. It's the closest thing to God. But then some will say nature is. But all of nature, I mean, everything comes from the woman, from the feminine. And also, I was thinking the other day, women naturally have masculine and feminine energies. Yeah, and because you have to have masculine energy in order to bring in life, as the woman does. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know what you think.